MSF has engaged in partnership with research institutes because the research institutes have the expertise to conduct trials and MSF does not, in order to be able to evaluate and conduct studies on experimental products.
Some guidance to national health authorities, but they've also indicated that since this treatment is still considered experimental.
We have 2 pharmaceutical drugs, which are antivirals, which is favipiravir from Fuji, Japan, and which is Brincidofovir from Chimerix from the USA. These drugs have both been used already in other indications, so they are off-label drugs. They have not been approved and they have not been tested in humans for the treatment of Ebola.
So there are 3 important components in our study. The first is community mobilization.
We have already agreed for the sites in Guinea, because these were the agreements that were made with the national authorities from Guinea. So that does not mean that we are not going to try to have other trials in other countries, but we have not come to a conclusion and final decisions with the national authorities.
So the second, the blood donation and plasma production will be led by the Guinean Blood Transfusion Service.
But there's also a scientific need. We have these products which may or may not work in Ebola, in patients with Ebola, and the only way we can test them is during an epidemic. So if we're going to find a treatment, we have to do it now, which is why we have to accelerate these trials, and it's very challenging.
What needs to be shipped? So I think we're talking about probably a couple of weeks to have everything in terms of material on site.
Our 3 involvements, both convalescent plasma, Brincidofovir and favipiravir, provide a virtual circle.